Hello Internet! In this video we are going to have a look at my Aegislash. Now, this slot was a bit of a strange slot really. I used different Pokemon in each of the Nationals in this slot. I tried out quite a few things in this slot afterwards as well, but only just before the Invitational did I decide, right, I'm just going with Aegislash, and you know, I just sort of plumped with that. So I've got Aegislash in this slot, but basically I wanted something here to help out against Garchomp, which yeah, I know what you're thinking. I've got Aegislash, which is weak to ground, but it's got Wide Guard, and I did like Wide Guard. I wanted something in this slot that had Wide Guard because Garchomp can't do anything to Azumarill if it's got Wide Guard support. Tyranitar is quite comfortable with Wide Guard support as well. Wide Guard does help out quite a lot, and you know, people don't really tend to expect it too much on Aegislash. I mean, the common set obviously is with Substitute and Leftovers, but I wanted Wide Guard just for that little bit of extra support really, to go along with the support from Raichu and Amoonguss to basically help my two main sweepers, my two main attackers, my Tyranitar and Azumarill through this. But yeah, so I wanted something that could help with Garchomp, and I wanted something that could resist Rock as well. I wanted something that could help out against Kangaskhan. Aegislash, this one doesn't have Substitute, so it isn't as good against Aegislash, against Kangaskhan, but it can still do a decent job against it. And I wanted something that could hit fairies as well, because if you took Aegislash out of this team, then maybe Gardevoir might be a bit of a problem, Aromatisse as well, things like that. So I wanted a steel attack. I wanted something basically that could hit fairies. But yeah, this is a very strange slot. I mean, Aegislash is definitely the Pokemon that I use least on this team by quite a long way. But it's just one of them Pokemon that I'll take sometimes, but only when I see in the team preview that I really do need this Aegislash. I mean, let's go through the history of this slot a little bit. In Manchester, at the National in Manchester, I used Gengar in this slot. So another ghost. Actually, that Gengar had the Mega Stone, because Raichu and Mega Gengar do work quite well together. It was a nice second option. I could trap things with Mega Gengar, I could Encore them and disable them, and just ruin them that way basically. It worked quite nice, and obviously I didn't have to Mega it. Gengar has got Levitate, so Garchomp can't do too much to it, and it can burn things as well. So there were some nice uses for it, but it was a little bit weak to Talonflame. I think it made the team a bit weak to Talonflame, that Gengar, which, you know, again, you're probably looking at me strange because this is weak to Fire, but if you predict right, then I can King Shield and I can get a -2 on the Talonflame as well, and then it isn't quite so much of a problem. So that was that. In Milan, in Italy, I used a Swords Dance Garchomp in this slot actually, because I realised that Talonflame was a bit of a problem with Gengar, and I didn't have any rock resists with Gengar there as well. So you know, I could at least speed tie with other Garchomp. I mean, that's terrible, isn't it, really? I mean, as a Pokemon, I don't like Garchomp. I do not like using Garchomp. I'm not too fond of playing it either, really. I'm not keen on Garchomp in general, so I don't know why I thought using Garchomp would be a good idea, but I suppose it did help against Talonflame and all the rest of it. And Mawile in Rain was starting to become a bit more popular at that time as well. So the Earthquake, even though, I mean, this team isn't very Earthquakeable, it's not very Earthquake friendly, I could still have that option of Earthquaking it, I suppose. But with Garchomp on there, I was quite weak to Gardevoir, as you can probably see. Afterwards, I tried what did I try? I tried Machamp in this slot, with a Cobra Berry to again to have something for Talonflame, and it could hit Kangaskhan as well, obviously, which is very nice, and it had the wide guard, so that helped out. And then I used Hariyama as well in this slot, which basically did the same thing, but Hariyama has actually got Feint, which I do quite like. I mean, when you've got a +6 Azumarill, the last thing you want to do is really try and, you know, have these hard predictions of which one is going to protect, which one is going to switch out or whatever. To have the option of using Feint and getting that guaranteed knockout is very nice. And the wide guard support helps as well, and it's good against Kangaskhan as well. And again, with the Cobra Berry, it can survive a Brave Bird and knock it out. I actually used Rock Tomb on it for a bit of speed control as well. You know, it's quite a nice idea, I thought, but with Machamp and Hariyama, the team I thought was too weak to other Aegislash, and it did become a problem. I did try Knock Off on Hariyama, but you know, it's not reliable. You know, King Shield is going to cripple you anyway, so you know, I was never really too keen on them. And again, I mean, weak to Gardevoir, so this is how I ended up with Aegislash, basically. Aerodactyl as well can be a bit of a problem. I mean, it's never fun to you know, be flinched and just have Rock Slides thrown in your way as well. So to have Wide Guard, but to have something else that resists Rock and can actually one-shot it back with Flash Cannon as well is very nice. This steel coverage is actually quite helpful. So yeah, I didn't decide to go down the Sacred Sword route. I didn't really want to split my EVs. I didn't feel there was too much of a call for it, because I mean, Sacred Sword is still a 2-hit KO on Kangaskhan and things like that. Flash Cannon against bulky ones isn't a 2-hit KO, but you know, more often than not, it does the same kind of job, really. So I mean, I'm using Quiet with 0 IV in speed here, so I did have the option to, but I didn't really want to be splitting my EVs. So because I've not got Substitute, because I am using Wide Guard here, I didn't really feel like Leftovers was particularly, you know, helpful. So I like the Weakness Policy. I put the Weakness Policy on. It's bulky enough in Shield form to take an Earthquake from Garchomp, and lots of other attacks as well. It can, with this amount of bulk, is, you know, max HP as you'd expect. It's got 68 in special defense, which lets it survive a Charizard Y Heat Wave, and I think it can survive 2 timid Tyranitar Dark Pulses as well, and which is, you know, actually quite nice with the Weakness Policy. 180 special attack EVs here lets it one-shot Garchomp, you know, a standard 4 HP Garchomp with Shadow Ball or Flash Cannon as well. So even though it is weak to ground, it is decent against Garchomp. You know, I can take a hit and one-shot it back basically, and the Wide Guard support is very helpful. I didn't really have too much of a problem against Trick Room, because more often than not, for Trick Room I could just use Raichu and Azumarill, fake out their fake out user, and just get a belly drum off as they set up Trick Room. And then you know, I suppose if they had Ferrothorn or a very slow Grass type like that, it could be a bit of a problem. But I mean, maybe this is why Aegislash would come into it. But Azumarill was usually all I needed against Trick Room, but Aegislash was an extra option there as well. So you know, as much as this was a very awkward slot for the team, it did change around a lot. I felt Aegislash is probably the best slot here, probably the best option. I might change my mind in the future, but for now I think Aegislash is the best slot, and you know, with this specific sort of set as well, with the Wide Guard. So I think it worked quite well. In the Invitational, I took it to 1 game out of 11, and I basically just sort of sacrificed it to you know, help my Tyranitar get in for free and set up, which, you know, it gave it some use, but maybe not the most optimal use for a Pokemon. But you know, let's leave it as that. I think the Aegislash worked quite well at times, but it was definitely the Pokemon that I used least in this whole team. So let's have a look at our next Pokemon.